You want to know how to score more points? Give me about 10 minutes and this scraggly old coach will show you exactly how to do it. We're going to be breaking down some match play and showing you how to score more points quicker. Let's get into it. This rally is from the highest level of tournament play called the Senior Pro Division, currently called the Champions Division. It's 50 plus play. Let me set it up for you here. In the orange is myself, Tony Roig, your coach. In the red is my partner, Eric. Opposite us here in the purple is our friend, Eric, another Eric. And then with the red cap on is Kevin. This play here, as I mentioned, is Senior Pro play. So this is 50 plus play. So the strategies and the shots and the movements and everything we're doing in this rally is available to you no matter your age, but is definitely available to you if you're a 50 plus pickleball player. It's my pleasure to coach you in this video. My name is Tony Roig. In addition to being one of the senior professional players in the rally that we're breaking down, I'm also one of the head coaches at the Better Pickleball Academy, which is one of the sponsors of this video. All right, let's set the stage for what we're trying to accomplish here. And what's important to understand is that whenever we're talking about scoring points, we want to be perfectly clear on what side we're playing on. And what we're playing on here is the serve side. So the concepts that we're discussing in this video are specific to the serve side. Now we're going to break this down into 3 parts. Let's go ahead and dive into part number 1. So part number 1 that we need to master in order to score more points is to learn how to navigate from the baseline all the way up to the non-volley zone line. The reason we want to do that is because our opponents, this blue team up here, has a positional advantage over us that we want to overcome by making it up to the line. And once we make it up to the line, now we can fight the fair fight. Let's take a look at the rally to see how me and Eric were able to move from the baseline up to the non-volley zone line, navigating that transition zone to give us a better chance to fight Eric and Kevin on fairer ground, right? On more even ground up at the non-volley zone where they are. If you're playing tournaments, highly recommend you tap paddles with your partners. It's really important to have that positive energy with your partner when you're playing in a tournament. So we're going to look at the different steps now that we took to make it from here to there. Eric's preparation for the serve is excellent. You're going to see Kevin hits a really nice return of serve and pushes us back here. So Eric's going to take the third here. We're going to stop it here for a second. So let me point out a couple of characteristics of this. First of all, Eric taking the third is something that Eric and I had discussed strategically. So we have clarity on who's taking that middle third and not have doubts as to who's going to do that. If you're playing competitively, league, tournament, things like that, or you're playing with a regular partner, having an understanding of who's going to take this shot is going to be really helpful to you. The other thing that you'll notice is I've taken a couple of steps in, right? So I'm maybe 2 to 3 feet inside the court, and I'm looking back to see what's going on with Eric. As I mentioned, Kevin hit a nice deep return of serve. What that tells me as the non-hitter on the serve team is my partner is going to be under more pressure to execute a third shot drop that is not going to be attackable. So I'm going to probably err here on the side of relaxing a little bit and chilling out a little bit back here rather than trying to rush in. So let's see how it goes. We're going to see Eric's going to hit it to the outside here. And it's a good spot here, okay? And this is something I think that players often think is, they put too much pressure on their third shot drop. They think their third shot drop has to land in the non-volley zone or else you didn't hit a good third shot drop. That is not the case. You can watch these pros, senior pros, you can also watch the younger pro players. We don't put as much pressure on our shots as many amateur players do because we understand that there's another shot and another shot and another shot. We don't have to get it all in one fell swoop. But that's a good shot by Eric there, and you'll see come in a little bit. Eric's moving in a little bit, getting split step at the moment that this Eric, purple Eric we'll call him, is getting ready to hit the shot. So a little bit of movement, get as much space as you can. And here again, we're going to see Eric, red Eric is going to take hit another drop from here. Again, I'm looking to see what kind of shot I'm seeing come off his paddle, basically we're trying to chew up space, right? A little bit of time, a little bit of time, a little bit of time to make it up to the non-volley zone line. So Eric is going to hit another drop, nice clearance over the net. Same thing here. Notice that this shot here is still volleyable, but it can be volleyed from underneath the net, right? Kevin has to reach and hit that ball underneath the net, right? It's lifting up. So that's a great shot for us. It allows us to keep moving forward, and you can see we keep moving forward, we keep moving forward, nice and relaxed. We're not under any rush. There's no timer that we're under. And then getting, again, split step and getting ready to receive the next shot. And then he hits a dink, and then I hit a dink back. So once I hit that dink back, now Red Eric and I have captured the non-volley zone line. We have accomplished our objective of moving forward from the baseline up to the non-volley zone line. And this is a really important first phase when you're trying to develop this repetitive, consistent ability to score more points. All right, good on us. Eric and I successfully navigated that transition zone, and we're both up at the non-volley zone line, ready for the next phase or the next part of our ability to score a point. The key here is going to be utilizing this non-volley zone on the other side of the net, the one that impedes our opponents. The reason we want to use that is because oftentimes the very first shot that you get is not going to be the best one for you there. What you want to do is move the ball around, create some stress on your opponents, and then find a better spot from which to attack. Let's pick up our story of the rally to see how we use the non-volley zone to our advantage to better set up our offense. We're picking up the story here where we're already up at the non-volley zone line on our side. We're going to start using this non-volley zone over here, the non-volley zone on the opposite side of the net, in order to help us start generating some movement without just trying to attack the first ball that we get. So instead of just ripping this ball at them, we're going to push this one here, right? Create some pressure on Kevin there. See what happens. Can be a mistake, could be a pop-up, right? Kevin actually does a good job of handling it, sends it back over. So now I'm going to test the other side of him. And even this ball here, I want to show you, even though Kevin's able to get that ball around his knee, he had to take a step over to get it, right? He stepped over. This looks like he's on the non-volley zone line. He's not. But basically, he's coming over. We're going to see it again here. So he's going to get the first ball, and then he's going to come over. And here, even though he's volleying the ball, he has to volley it from an awkward spot. If he hits that ball really hard, Red Eric should just let the ball go. But it's a really tough spot for Kevin to do something here. He's going to try and redirect it. But this is an example of using that non-volley zone to help create pressure on your opponents before just launching into an attack. All right, so far so good. Eric and I have made it up to the non-volley zone line, and now we're moving the ball around, trying to create some pressure on Eric and Kevin opposite us to find an opportunity from which to attack. And that is then part 3. Part 3 is trying to find an area or an opportunity that you're comfortable attacking and given your skill set. You're going to see Eric here has a nice backhand flick. He can reach into the over the non-volley zone pretty far and then flick it with his backhand, so it's a good option for his attack. What you're looking for is you're looking for attacks that have a roughly greater than 50% chance of success. It's really hard to find attacks that are like 90% successful or something like that. You're really trying to find things that are over 50%. If you can get 55, 57%, awesome. Over 50% is going to be a good number for you, and you're trying to look for those spots that work for you. Let's go back to the rally now and see how Eric picked his spot from which to attack. We're now at the final phase of this scored point by us. First thing was we made it up to the non-volley zone line from the baseline. Second thing was using the non-volley zone opposite the net to soften up our opponent some and find a better spot to attack from. And we're picking up the action from Kevin hitting this volley here. He's going to redirect it toward Red Eric opposite him, and you're going to see Red Eric gets a ball a little bit higher in the net and decides to attack. Crucially here, Eric finds a really good spot to attack, which is Kevin's right shoulder. Kevin is a right-handed player. An attack up here is going to be really difficult for Kevin to navigate. As you can see there, he gets all jammed up, ends up hitting the ball into the net, and we score a point. And obviously you have the mandatory paddle tap at the end of those situations. Let's go ahead and put all 3 parts together so you can see how they all work in unison to allow us to score the point. If you want to score more points, use the techniques that we as senior professional pickleball players use, starting with navigating the transition zone nice and calm. Once you make it up to the non-volley zone line, use that non-volley zone to put pressure on your opponents and soften them up a little bit, and then find that attack opportunity that gives you a reasonable chance for success. If you want to go deeper on subjects just like this so that you can play much better pickleball, join us inside the Better Pickleball Academy. I hope to see you there.